Hello.
Hey, okay, I have a big question. It's about, well, I basically did the hero's journey from noon, basically, where you start out in the Shire, basically, down to the abyss, I would say. And I looked into it and I came out of it. And now I'm basically riding back to the Shire, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
You know the hero's journey?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so there's this part of me who thinks, what the hell do I want to go back to the Shire, basically? So I have been, I think, 21 years, basically, Dark Night of the Soul, you know, has been pretty tough. And now I'm coming out of it. I mean, I have a house now, there are rose bushes outside, you know, it's really weird. So and actually, I'm no longer in this downward momentum where I'm basically going. You know, Frodo goes to Mordor, drops the ring, and so on. No? And I'm coming out of this, and I don't know where do I find people like this who understand this journey, who understand what we all have been going through. I assume. And I mean, I'm a Rosicrucian. I think a Freemason, is that correct?
Sure, yeah.
I think about
and a Rosicrucian, although not in any official order.
Okay. So my treasure that I gained from this abyss thing, you know, Dragon's Cave and all, was basically transcending the one-sided duality. Sounds a little bit weird, but you know, victim, victimizer, good, evil, two sides, one coin. I really understood this intellectually, basically, that the other is in me and I'm in the other, and you know, two sides, one coin. And yeah, I mean, I'm a Rosicrucian. I think I joined the Freemasons now, so I have these triangle upward, triangle downward momentum. These two aspects basically joining together and forming a third aspect. I don't know. I'm looking for the next step. Where do I go from here? So I'm already a Rosicrucian, trying to become a Freemason. And now I'm here thinking about true will, thinking about Thelema, thinking about bringing all that, what I've learned, into the world, manifesting it. And where do I find people who are in this third quadrant, basically, of the hero's journey? So I'm no longer in the abyss part. I'm coming out of it. It's basically the third quarter, I would say.
Yeah, you find them right back where you started.
There's a part of me who thinks riding back to the Shire, really? Those people, what do I want from them? I mean, I'm getting there, but
well, the question but the question is not what do you want from them. The question is what can you do for them? Because the point of the hero's journey is that you go into Mordor, or the hero's journey is the shaman's journey. You go into the abyss, the dark night of soul, the soul, fairyland, whatever you want to call it, and you have unbelievable experiences that no one will ever believe, see, or acknowledge you for.
And really understand. It's not
no one will understand it.
Yeah, sure.
You know, on this call we'll understand it, but people in but that's not the point. The point, this is really critical for everyone. The point of the hero's journey or the shaman's journey is you do go out there into a place that other people are scared to go, and you have these intense experiences that other people won't even guess that could exist. But the point is, the point is not having it. The point is, what do you bring back, and what can you bring back for your tribe? The original shamans, Paleolithic shamans, would go out into the wilderness to undergo their shamanic initiation. The tribe would push them out, and this is something to understand. When we go out on the hero's journey, or the initiatory quest, the Grail quest, whatever you want to call it, as a magician, it's easy to think that it's you doing it. Oh, I'm brave enough, I'm strong enough to do it. What you have to understand is that's not really true. Your tribe is allowing you to do it and supporting you while you do it, even if it doesn't seem like it. Perhaps you are pushed out by them, not by a will of your own. But the point is, what can you bring back that is of use to other people? So for me, it's I came back and I took a teaching position.
I thought about writing a book. I mean, I did my master's thesis in 2015, and I basically wrote about this whole transcendence of the one-sided duality thing. I think I mean, there were people, one of my philosophy professors never talks a word with me because he basically is a constructivist, and I fell into the abyss of metaphysics and ontology. And, he basically sent me to hell and never talks to me ever again. But there were people who understood what I was talking about, and they understood it and appreciated it, gave me a good grade for it. So I thought about writing a book about this, but then again, it's so hard to explain and so hard to put into words and to write something down that people can actually understand. So I kind of gave up. The last 6 years I thought about writing this book, but now I basically gave up and joined your class, practical magic, manifestation, not so much the air element, not so much the intellect, but more practical earth, pentacle energy, basically.
So I'm hearing two things from you. One is that on one hand, you're going in two directions at the same time. On one hand, you're talking about wanting to come back from the abyss and to the Shire, as you put it, which is a good way to put it. And on the other hand, you're saying, I want to join more orders. I want to learn more magic. You're speaking in terminology like triangles and pentagrams and things like that, which suggests very much that you are still intoxicated by the aroma of magic, right? And so I'll say this: you won't reintegrate by joining more orders. It's just you're just going to repeat the same cycle. So, and if you're hoping that the orders will have people in them that can explain you to yourself, then you'll probably be quite disappointed. So I hear you looking for community with other people who have been through similar things.
Right. Exactly.
The reality of magic is this doesn't exist. Magicians are all, they call it the Hermetic tradition for a reason, the hermit, and so we are never alone, but always alone. And so I think perhaps in a certain way, I just want to tell you in perhaps a bracing way that is not meant to be mean, but bracing, which is simply that, you're looking for community and family out there, and you're quite likely not going to find it, and it's not necessarily something you should want. So let's talk about the Rosicrucians. You mentioned being a Rosicrucian. What are the two things that the Rosicrucians profess to be able to do to the public?
Coffee and cake on a Sunday afternoon.
That would be nice, but no.
That's so cute, isn't it?
So Rosicrucians were oath bound to only make two claims about themselves in public. Do you remember what this was?
Yeah, I mean what is this? The Philosopher's Stone, or I don't know how you call it in English, but yeah, you basically try to find inner peace and
Well, that's what you may be trying to do within the order, but in terms of how you present yourself to the public, there's
I have no idea.
Okay, so go back to the Rosicrucian manifestos. The Rosicrucians were told to only ever profess two things. There were two rules for them in interacting with the public. One is they were to dress and act exactly like everyone around them. They were to be the invisibles, right? They were not to make a big scene of themselves. And then they were to blend in with everyone around them. And the second one is the only thing they could ever profess in public was that they had the ability, that they offered healing services. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Rosicrucians are very secluded. They don't go out and pronounce themselves like I do in this video chat. But I mean,
this is a private chat.
This is basically a private setting. Okay.
Yeah.
So we don't. I mean, Freemasons basically have these triangles on their cars sometimes, or where they're, I don't know, buttons, whatever. And we would never do this. We keep a low profile and don't advertise us. Right. But and that's wonderful. I like that. But it's a little, I mean, I the last 21 years I basically spent in this dark night of the soul. I was really going into my personal abyss and looking for it. And I was not really looking for it. I was on this journey. I had no really choice. I had to go through it. But 21 years is a long time. And I have been soul searching myself. I have been studying philosophy. I have been reading books over books. I was meditating. I was experimenting with everything. So this was a time where I was pretty much going alone in this Rosicrucian mindset, I would say. You know, you study for yourself. You don't make a big fuss about you. It's an inward journey, basically. And now I'm coming out of this. As I said, I went down the first 2 quarters of this hero's journey into the abyss, looked at it, and now I'm coming out of it. And that basically means for me, I have to rejoin the world. I want to rejoin the world. I want people. I want to express myself. I want to manifest what I've learned and bring it into this world. And this is something the Rosicrucians are not very fond of. I mean, it's you do it for yourself. You have your sanctuary and everything. You meditate, you do your thing, but it's an inward journey. And I'm coming out of this and want to, as I said, rejoin the world. I want to put something out. I want to give something. Yes. And this is something I can't really do in a Rosicrucian setting because it's just not the right place for it.
No, I understand totally, and I've met Rosicrucians and Martinists who completely renounce from the world and all of that, and I don't know if they actually get anything done. I mean, they're simply wishing to be outside of things.
They have the nice houses and their little cozy settings, and everything is wonderful, working, and not much drama and everything. But they live in the ivory tower, so to speak, and everything is cool and everything is wonderful. But sometimes the shit hits the fan and you have to go through it. And if you go through it, you have something to bring back. And I don't know. I just don't find people in this Rosicrucian setting that are capable of even understanding what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So let me be succinct because I need to make sure that I get to everyone as well. So I will simply bounce back to you. I will pose to you a decision that you need to make. If you wish to remain in the ivory tower, as you put it, then yeah, go ahead and keep on with the Rosicrucians, join the Freemasons, do all that, and continue but don't expect to ever come to any conclusion. In a way, it's like people play that game. They can play that game forever. So I'm not recommending you go one way or the other because it's not my place to do so. That really is the soul must decide that on its own, you know, and sometimes we may go back and forth for a bit. But if you wish to rejoin the world, then I pose to you this challenge, which is simply that the way to rejoin the world is certainly not to join more orders or look for more practical worldly magic. It's simply to pose a certain question to yourself, which is 21 years is a long time, right? So yes. You presumably learned quite a lot. So you just simply need to pose this question to yourself: what can I do that will be of service to other people? That question is how you rejoin the world, because the point of the hero's journey is not to go out on the quest and then come back and lord it over the people in the Shire. The point is they sent you. What I was trying to point out is that they sent you out there for a reason, and in order for you to complete your quest, you need to reintegrate in a way that is of help to other people. That's the point of the shaman, and even in tribal societies, which all of these secret societies and all of that recapitulate the original shaman's journey, which was to go out into the forest, contend with the spirits, be torn apart, be put back together with a new piece, and then to come back to the tribe to act as a usually some combination of healer, therapist, and fortune teller, but simply to be of use to their tribe. And so this is what you need to figure out if you wish to rejoin the world. You have to stop just cut at the root, the introspective, and make it about refocus your attention on other people. Where can you overlap with them and be of help to them? And that's the question, that's the line of thinking that I offer you that will allow you to reintegrate if you wish to.
Okay, and this whole magical aspect of it, I mean, magic is basically that you choose your own reality tunnel or your own rabbit hole that you go down to, and you manifest your life according to your will. I mean, you basically manifest, it's pure manifestation, right?
I'll just simply repeat what I said.
Okay.
Which is, if you wish to rejoin the world, forget the esoteric shit for a second. If you wish to rejoin the world, refocus your attention on other people, stop thinking that you need to learn more things, and ask yourself, where can you overlap with other people and be of help to them? And that's where you'll find the magic also, but not in the way you think.
Okay, let's just leave it there. I mean, I have to think about this. Thank you so much for your time.
Welcome. You're welcome. No, it's the beginning of my hope is that it's the beginning of a thought process for you. It's not the answer, but I'm prompting you towards a different mental track. So take it or leave it. But I wish you the best. And it sounds like you've done a tremendous amount of work. So I look forward to seeing more.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.